Lately, I've been trying to write a poem. One where there isn't all this bad, isn't all this trauma, isn't all these daddy issues displayed in metaphors and dressed up in similes. I've been trying to write a happy poem. One where I can tell you about the first time I held a girl's hand when I was 15 and her hands were so clammy they slipped right through mine. I want to write a poem about the first time I held a gun in my hands and how my temple felt like the sweetest resting place it could have ever found. I want to write a poem about how I didn't pull the trigger, or more so, how I didn't get the chance because my homeboy came rushing on the basement stairs faster than I could count down from 3. I want to write a poem about my homeboy and how him and I can't watch Alvin and the Chipmunks without losing our shit because my nigga looks exactly like Simon. I want to write a poem about my first fight with my first best friend, Jack, and how he felt like the first person who could truly see me. I want to write a poem about how he was the first boy I loved enough I was willing to lose blood for. I almost wrote a poem about the first time blood spewed out of this boy body. I was 11 or 12 in the National History Museum. I remember crying so much that day that these tears rinsed the bloodstains off these fingertips of mine. I want to write happy poems about my mom and how she would take my siblings and I to the fun fair every year. And how when left to my own devices, I would spend all my tokens at the bumper cars. I want to write poems about how she would never miss a school play, the same way she never misses a Sunday service. Lately, I've been trying to write a poem. One where there isn't all this bad, isn't all this trauma, isn't all these daddy issues displayed in metaphors and dressed up in similes. I've been trying to write a fucking happy poem. But I guess sometimes trying isn't good enough. You have to just pick up the pen and write it.
I don't visit. On the last night, I slept on your floor. Bed, already in a new house. Your walls held each night like an inhale. And I would take the stairs, sinking on tiptoe, counting 13 down in the dark, just to be out of bed, unknown. In the mornings, I wiped the window, wringing out the condensation May's lungs could hold so much water. And I didn't realize carpets weren't supposed to be that thin. I hid Bibles in you. In shallow baths, looking up at your ceiling with mold constellations, I wondered if I'd ever float. I remember how we had 2 front doors to lock things out or lock us in. How we couldn't take bins out after sunset. How Halloween made our neighbours monsters who bombed with eggs, how they only ever aimed at us. How your glass shook like a heart attack, but you never broke. In the mornings we cleaned you of yolk, shrapnel, shame. I wished bricks for their glass, their bones. Your walls and floors still hold my family's implosions. If I put my fingers in your cuts, split plaster and board, would I feel nuclear again? When I laid on the floor, did you soak up the fallout? Is this why I remember so little? Why I no longer burn? I always wanted to run from you. I sleepwalk back. And I wake up somewhere.
You are a poet when you're a bit tipsy. All that your heart cages up leaks out of your lips. You fluidly roll each syllable off your tongue, like Shakespeare or Wordsworth, but bevved and young. You're a poet once you've had a few pints. When you pull me aside, fluent fingers tracing thighs, like I am your very own language or dialect. As if when you look into my eyes, you just know which words to select. And you are Lord Byron. Once you've downed a bottle of vodka. All smart and sharp and enigmatic. But compare me to a rose one more time and I will go fucking manic, because I know you won't mean it in the morning. Once your eyes wince as the sun starts dawning, and this is what we do. This, our self-medication. Sometimes the only thing we rely on for any form of validation, we riddle and rhyme and sing from rooftops. Crawl into cheap club nights, flasks stuffed into jackets, and amid the cans and ash and sweat, I feel the tingle of eyes wash the curve of my neck. I feel your loose laces tickling sticky floors. I feel the bass quivering the cluttered curls of your hair and that rusty thin chain you always wear. It takes nothing to meet your gaze, even in this neon-soaked hazy maze. So in those poison moments, I let you become that poet. So all-consuming, you could not know it. It feels so natural. You forget these phrases are merely tactical. Lure me with your romantic rhetoric. Entice me with a casual sonnet. And once it's worn off, you close yourself in. Cover it up with all the nonchalance you can muster. But you should be careful who you grow lyrical around, because I will poet the fuck out of you and voice it out loud. Thank you.